Matt, what are the specific roadblocks that typically prevent your clients from getting started with you on mobile magazine publishing?
Oh, that's easy. I mean, the biggest roadblock is the real estate between anyone's ears. It's their own head. You know, like that's the biggest thing is people get in their own way. The baggage that people bring to the table, the self-doubt, stuff like that is the biggest. Of all the publishers we've seen, that's always the biggest issue because, you know, and also thinking small. The reality is a lot of times people don't, maybe they don't think they deserve, you know, this huge, great thing, or maybe they think, oh, that's a great idea, but in the back of their head, they're like, but can I really achieve that? You know, and that self-doubt is the biggest thing. I mean, the reality is the platform, we've got it. The training, it's there. You can learn from our successes and our failures. We'll teach you all that stuff. So there should be no excuses on that side of it. It's a matter of, you know, we can only lead a horse to water. We can't make them drink. You know, that's inside the person, right? We can give you all the tools, all the knowledge, all the resources. We can do everything but force you to do it. And that part we just can't do, and we won't do it. You know, like we'll support you, but we can't do it. It's that whole, you know, 3 feet from gold thing, right? Like people stop too soon a lot of times. And if I was going to tell you that this was going to be smooth and you won't run into, there would be no learning curve, it'll be easy and roses and all that stuff, I'd be lying to you. You're going to be stretched a little bit in ways that you're like, make you a little uncomfortable. But I can tell you it's going to be worth it. If you push through those obstacles, it's going to be worth it. I'm sorry, Len wants to jump in.
I'm laughing because you just actually, that's exactly what I was thinking. You even use 3 feet from gold. That was exactly, it's good to have a partner that does that. That's awesome. To carry one other thing on the roadblock, the biggest roadblock to amplify what Matt is saying is the thought from people thinking there's not going to be roadblocks. Yeah. Like the thought, the perception behind it is that they shouldn't have challenges. And that is my biggest pet peeve, along with the biggest roadblock that I notice in people's success, is when challenges come up, they are so surprised that they're having these. And why? That is life. I have never met an entrepreneur that hasn't, I mean, that's what success is overcoming the challenges. They've got to be there. So like Matt was saying, we have all the tools. It's the space, the real estate space, like Matt was saying, in between the ears, that's the biggest roadblock to it. You know, it's ingenuity wins right now.
And I think a lot of times people are passionately charged, especially, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs they go after the shiny objects. They're looking for that silver bullet answer and all that stuff. You know, don't approach this with that sort of mentality. Approach this as something you want to take seriously, because it can turn into something really serious for you. And it's not anything, again, you know, don't give up at the beginning if you run into a roadblock. Like, that's what surrounding yourself with a like-minded community is about. It's about supporting each other and all that stuff. Today, just to give you an idea, not only do we walk our own talk, right? Like, this is the stuff we're saying, but to give you an idea, just internally, as a company, we hit roadblocks too. And we just recently... we recently dubbed ourselves the Rat Pack, and I'll tell you why. Can I share this story, Len?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so basically it was just a little analogy I sent around that I'd read somewhere from a documentary filmmaker named Norm Stahl. And he was basically talking about the fact that a rat's teeth grow in 2 directions. They grow down from his mouth and up towards his brain. Now, if the rat doesn't keep gnawing on stuff, you know, on something every day, continuously wearing down the teeth from the bottom, the top part will eventually grow back into his brain and ultimately kill him. So right now, as a company, because we're charging the way here, we're basically helping to shape an entire industry, there are roadblocks there. And the fact of the matter is, we have to keep gnawing, and we have to keep going, and we have to keep gnawing through like, when it's uncomfortable, you need to keep going anyway, because if you think about the alternative, it's unthinkable, right? Like, you know, as far as the rat analogy. So that's kind of why we joke around and call ourselves the Rat Pack, because everyone who creates a magazine is going to run into a couple of these little things too. They're not going to be probably as big as the stuff that we've dealt with, because we built an entire platform. But with a magazine, you will run into little issues too. So again, it's a long-winded way of saying push through those, because what's on the other side is amazing, or can be amazing, depending on how good your magazine is and how serious you take it.
Let me summarize this one. What Matt and Len are saying, there's a difference. You know how much the difference is from 99% to 100%? Write down your answer. What's the answer? It's 100%. It's not a 1% difference. If your answer is 1%, I'm sorry, friend, it's wrong.
That's a good point, Siddique.
Yeah, the last little bit is where, yeah.
100% difference between 99 to 100%. You know why people leave the project from 98% to 100%? So that's a huge, huge mistake.
Yeah, I agree with you totally, and that's something that if people take away from this, it's very, very valuable. It's something I've learned as well. Is if your why is big enough, there's nothing that can take you off of your track, and it may be times where you feel like it can, but that determination and stick-to-itiveness really comes into play, so that it passes, the storm passes, and you're still there.